Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. We are going to be taking a look at the top 10 altcoins available on Coinbase today. Yesterday, I put out a video of the cryptocurrencies available on Robinhood. Coinbase has way more available. So if there's any altcoins you would like for me to take a quick look at, please comment those below. I am going to fly through the first four altcoins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Lincoln, well, actually 5 AVAX, because I did talk about those in yesterday's video. I'll just give a quick update. Going to fear and greed, as you can see, we've been going up in greed since around the bottom of where Bitcoin was from our last cycle. And so Bitcoin has these 4-year cycles, is 4 years between the top and the top. About 4 years between these tops. However, this would have been the best time to sell. We had quantitative easing, money printing that I believe helped drive the price up earlier than expected. Here is a mid-cycle top last time around. Here was that bottom that I just talked about. And so that mid-cycle top that we had before the last 4-year cycle peaked, this is what it looked like. We were very high on greed, and yet the price did not make a new all-time high. So something to know is that even though we're at greed getting up close to 80, as you can see here, 75 higher is extreme greed, we have not been in this level of greed since the very top of Bitcoin. Again, here, this was the true top to sell for all your altcoins and Bitcoin. So this can be a front-running signal. This was an extreme greed, and we had about 5-6 months until the true top came in, just as the bottom was a little bit after the extreme fear, if you're willing to be patient. So fear and greed can be a front-running signal to tell you that, hey, maybe some better prices to buy or sell are coming. Moving on to Bitcoin, this is on the weekly, and something you might notice is that well, first of all, these green signals are buy signals with this indicator I have on. Red, obviously sell. Something you might notice since the bottom is we've had these sell-offs, and each sell-off has been about 20%. We've had that happen 4 times. So Bitcoin has been slowing down just a little. Now, when I go into the daily, as you can see here, you'll see more red lines popping up, and we just got a red sell signal on the daily. These can obviously be reversed a lot faster than the more macro signals on the weekly and monthly, of course. So right now we have this red doji. Maybe it'll take us down to this fib and the 20 moving average that's on this indicator, somewhere around 48.5. That would be my target if it was to do a little bit of a move down. And if we measure that out just from where the body is right now, or where the price is, be about 6%. So if it got down to that price, maybe that could be a place where you start looking at the price of Bitcoin and some other things. Even another thing to consider is, even if we did move up higher to the next fib range and move down 20%, as we've done 4 times before, where would that put us? Well, 20% is right above all this stuff over here. So there's a lot of structural support here. So even if it did come down, if it went up and then came down 20%, that could be something you could wait for as well. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum made a yearly high yesterday, got above 3,000 briefly. Now it's at 2,900, and Ethereum's just been running up. Now, something I've noticed is that since Ethereum's been forming this trend line, and trend lines are only good for as long as they're good for, that we've had strong moves bounce off this trend line. So from here, Ethereum moved up 90%. From here, I know it might not be exact, about 65%. Currently, right now, it's at about 80-ish%. So could it move up higher? Sure. I mean, we had this big bounce here. However, I do wonder just in a bearish sort of mindset. If we could wait, if you were willing to be patient, you could possibly wait for it to come back down. Not saying it has to, especially with talks heating up of a Ethereum ETF. So that might start driving the price higher to something like 4,000 again. Otherwise, if you are willing to be patient, if Ethereum did ever get down near this trend line, I myself would have a hard time not seriously consider buying. So would I buy right now? No, just because it's running right now and it hasn't had any good pullbacks in a little bit. So just something to keep an eye on with Ethereum. Let's move on to Doge. Doge, we had a top here in early mid-December. It came down. Let's go to the weekly because we're just on these altcoins here. I'm willing to be more patient. Bitcoin and Ethereum sort of tell us what the rest of the alts are going to do overall, or at least what the conditions are. So if Bitcoin's looking good and Ethereum's looking good, sometimes certain altcoins might pop off 10, 50, 100% out of nowhere. Doge here, you can see we had a buy signal here around 8 cents and it moved up to this fib, the 382, at about 8.5 cents. It even wicked as high as 9. However, it's come back down to, well, right here, 8 cents and a third. And that's not too far off from where this buy signal was. And we are above the 0.5. So if you did buy here, I don't think it's the worst time the dollar cost average in, especially if you believe in Dogecoin, that it can get back up to somewhere around 50 cents. So that would be a 5x, not the worst. Again, we are assuming that we're going to have another 4-year cycle peak as we've had before. Doesn't mean it has to happen. We have only so many data points. However, if this was to happen sometime next year, I would have a hard time believing Doge would not, at the very least, 5 to 10x. Let's go to, what's next? Let's go to Link. Talked about Link yesterday, how I was waiting for better prices, maybe something around 11 cents with Link. And it just stayed up in this range and wasn't really a good time to buy until that time started to build up. And what was a bullish move then started to slowly turn into accumulation. And we stayed here for about 3 months and then shot up to almost, well, about 21 cents. So we do have some wick kind of reversal patterns going on here. I would wonder or guess that it would get back down to the $17 range and get back to these moving averages eventually, and maybe it'll chop up there again before making a move either direction. As far as Link, love the altcoin. I think it's one of the strongest out there. Would I be buying right now? No, it's overbought. We do have, as of right now, you can see the RSI is getting lower and the price has gotten higher. That is bearish divergence. Now, it's not to say that the RSI can't continue to get lower and the price still can't get higher again. So maybe we're going to see 3 big waves before a sell-off, and that sell-off, it might only take us back down to somewhere around this $15 level. So we'll see. But just something to keep an eye on is bearish divergence. I like Link. I'm also willing to be patient on it. AVAX. AVAX, similar to Link. However, we haven't really had as much accumulation. We had this big sell-off here to the 0.5. Then it's gone back up. We have this little doji pattern forming, which tells us that it's thinking about possibly going either way, up or down. These candles can move strongly either way. So AVAX, personally, I do think this is showing some weakness because we have a lower high. And so maybe it'll settle on this 382 at 34 or have another strong move down somewhere around 30. So me, I'd be willing to be patient for AVAX to get to 29.30. However, if you didn't want to miss on AVAX and it got to this 34 and you put in a little, that could be the beginning of where your dollar cost average in. Wouldn't blame you. Zooming out though, AVAX has been as high as 136. So yeah, you could be assuming that maybe AVAX could be a 4x from here, and what does it matter? Well, do your own research. If you believe in the altcoin and it can hit that or even higher, then have at it. Next, let's go to XRP. And XRP, something to note here with XRP is when we zoom way out, this may be on the wrong chart here. Let's look for another XRP chart. I want to find one that shows the entirety of XRP. Well, that one a little bit. So yes, this will work. When XRP ran in 2018, this is on market cap, by the way. I believe it was somewhere around $3-5, something like that. And something to note is that last bull run, when we were around April, May, it only got up this high, and it did not get as high as before. So you can say macro-wise, are we forming a descending trend line? XRP, Litecoin, kind of similar in this way. Now, Litecoin hasn't had a real blow-off top move, so I am wondering if XRP is going to stay within that pattern of this macro descending trend line next 4-year cycle. Maybe it's only going to get as high as somewhere like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number here, maybe like 70 billion in market cap, 60 billion, we'll see. Now, something to keep in mind is XRP was dealing with a lot of legal issues, so maybe people didn't feel as strongly about going into it back then. Looking here, we're on the monthly, not even the weekly, and we did have a monthly sell signal. And so those moves tend to be pretty strong. When we go to the weekly, you can see that we just did get a buy signal. So we had a monthly sell signal. It had a month to play out. We're into the second month, and we have a weekly buy signal. Might this be a decent time to buy? I don't think it'd be the worst. As you can see, we're trending higher lows here. And we did get a buy signal on the weekly. So yeah, if you dollar cost averaged in here on XRP, I don't think it'd be the worst. I want to go to price so I can tell you price amounts. So right now it's around 54 cents, and it's right at this 0.618 fib. So it does look like it's trying to keep itself established above there. And when assets get above the 618 and stay above the 618, that's when they can be bullish. So do watch, make sure it doesn't fall back below here, that it's not just doing one of these sort of rainbow looking patterns. However, it does look like it wants to move up. You can see on the wicks that it smacked that 20 moving average on this indicator. So something to keep an eye on. Even though we have this buy signal, I'm a little back and forth on this. We had sell signals up here, buy signals up here, a lot of chop. However, if you like XRP, you believe in it, I don't think this is the worst time to dollar cost average in. Do your own research, of course. Solana. So Solana, where are we at right now? So I have this big macro fib and then this micro fib, probably from the last year. And as you can see, this 618.5 range here is a pretty important zone. Should we get above it, then I think this thing can go have another giant parabolic move up, kind of like we did here from $20 to 120. So this is an important zone right here. As you can see, the price is sort of struggling around that 618. We are on the weekly. We did have a buy signal not too long ago when it got down to the 90s. Right now we're at 103. So we are at this moving average here, the 10 moving average. Would I buy Solana here? I'm a little more hesitant. I would like to see more time. However, you can see in the last 3 months, we are somewhat accumulating. And so if this were to stay this way for another month, and it would chop down a little bit to this 382 level here on this micro fib, or even maybe 90 to 100, then I might consider it. So Solana, very strong altcoin. It's expected to be one of the best altcoins for this next bull run 4-year cycle, should we get one of those. So buying it here, not the worst. However, if you are willing to be patient, if you were to possibly catch any prices down here at 84, or even if we had a big move down back to 57, that would be amazing. Are we going to get back to 57? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Depends on the rest of the economy. So the first level I would really keep an eye out for is at around 90. And then if you're lucky, 82, I'd have a hard time not getting some SOL there. Next, let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano. This one's been around for a while, even since 2017. And right now, as far as the year, we're near the yearly high of where we were at 67 cents. Got down to this 50-cent range here at the 382, established some levels of accumulation, and then shot back up. You can see that little red candle right there, that maybe we're going to come back down to the 236, somewhere around 57 cents. And who knows? So Cardano, would I be buying here? Not necessarily. I do wonder if it's going to come back down to this 382 level at around 50 cents. I'm willing to be patient for Cardano and wait for something closer to 50 cents myself. We have three more, MATIC, DOT, and ICP. MATIC, kind of similar to Cardano, I had these earlier waves. So look at how this is bouncing between the 236 and the 618. Bounce off the 618, stay bullish. Bounce off the 236 like a game of volleyball here. Slingshot it up to our yearly high. Was that our yearly high? Well, we have all this stuff back here. So yearly high, if you consider from May, June, I think that's why I drew that fib just from right there, because it was our bottom to our most recent top. So let's go back to the daily. I like that view more. So came back down almost to 618, wick down hard, back to the 236, and then volleyballed off the 618. It hasn't gone up as strong, and as you can see here, look at the RSI, how high it was back here, and it was at this 382 price at the peak, and then it had a peak up here when it was up above the 236 zone. So technically that is bearish divergence. So if you're willing to be patient, and if you can possibly catch MATIC somewhere around this 80-cent range, or if you're fast enough, it looks like it bounces quick off the 618, and so anywhere close to 72, 73 cents, I would have a hard time not picking up some MATIC right there. So if you get MATIC anywhere, between 73 and 83 cents, I think overall you're getting a good deal, especially since you consider we've been up there since November. Two more, DOT and ICP. DOT, we made a high here late December, came down to the 0.5. Yeah, we had a little bit of action underneath it, kind of a bounce off the 618, and then come back up to the 236, and now we've come back down to the 382, which is at $7.30, and we're really close to that. So last buy signal we had was down here in the high sixes, $6.80. Because we got the sell signal, I do expect for it to get down closer to this 0.5 fib. Let's go to the weekly. When we go to the weekly, yeah, we had a buy signal just not too long ago. This buy signal, my God, if you would have caught that one after it's going down for a while, 143% up, not bad. And so for last week, we got a buy signal, come up, bounce off that 236. Again, on the daily, maybe the daily's showing us that we may bounce back down. And if so, then we're creating a lower high. And I would feel more confident about it returning to around that $6.50 range. Last one, let's take a look at ICP. ICP. So this one, kind of like Link and Solana, had a strong move up. This one got as high as $16, wicked down very quickly to 9.5. Had this buy signal, and right now it's at almost $13. So if we scooch over here, yeah, $13.17 is what we got on the highest range of this fib here. So right now, this is just looking bullish to me. Would I be buying ICP here? No. Do look for some, if you use TradingView, do look for some buy-sell indicators. This one is more of a front-running indicator. There's others that confirm it. You won't catch the lowest of the low prices. However, it will confirm that the move is more established. If you want to look at something like UT bot alerts, that one can be a safer indicator to use. So if we throw that on, yeah, you can see we didn't get a buy signal here. And as you can see, this candle here, it almost turned the opposite way, but again, looks for more confirmation. And so if you are looking for a safer, more lagging buy-sell indicator, this isn't the worst one. Anyways, 21 minutes. I don't think that was too bad. I'm getting better at this. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And again, if there's any altcoins you would like for me to take a look at, please comment those below. I'd be happy to take a look at any altcoin. I talked to someone recently about Jasmy, and my God, Jasmy, it was down here at 1/3 of a cent, and now here it's gone up quite a bit. So it's at a penny and a half, or a penny and a third almost. So yeah, sometimes these altcoins, these lower cap ones, can make big moves. So if there are any lower cap altcoins on Coinbase you want me to take a look at, where you feel it has some possible structure forming for a big move up, something like what just recently happened to Jasmy, comment those below. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy your Wednesday and that you have a wonderful day. Take care.